security personnel, people who have devoted their lives to the service and defense of this country, cannot be treated with dignity and respect. Captain, then what country are we building? Like Innocent said, they don't have even simple apparatus or equipment and regalia to wear. Bulletproof vest no here. Now I say you share for 200 cedis.
Yes.
So they're saying all the monies are already sending dispatch riders to Asen North. All the V8s and all the monies they used to fuel those V8s to Asen North. Per diem, accommodation, feeding, and all of those monies on best say Asen North.
They can buy a single.
They cannot buy single.
No, but your life doesn't matter.
Your life doesn't matter to them. The politician.
They can buy bulletproof vests for our security servicemen and women. Simple, ordinary boots. Boots. They have to use their own. Captain, you see, it has been made. The system has been crafted in such a way. Say, security service personnel no to be because if they could speak about their issues they face, no, Captain, that itself will become a national security threat. Their voicing out their problems alone is scary. Because, Captain, how can a security service personnel, someone who has devoted his life to the service of this country, how can you stay in a single room with your wife and your children? You're from police quarters and now military barracks. How?
But before Ima Bekodo, say TUC declare nationwide strike starting July 10. Inti edwade ya ebe na wotwe no Ghana edwayefo nyina etna fie TUC say emo bi ankwa adwuma ti mpacho ma yam announcement awie ti se mama ye ko strike ti se mo amaya announcement Mr. Shandoff se mama ye nyina no ye ko strike TUC enye declare Ima.
Yeah, Captain, me da say. My first akonya we so na mechia ura Kofi Granting New Vision Movement in Penifo managers no regional executives both omo fie ni abrochiri nyina na mother Captain I say because there has never been a timer akamimi nyine no na bribia se ye wo ubehu TV so any radio so amanfo e kan nyoma esisi oman mu a eya na dodo na no eya ubehu nkokora e na ubehu on but enne ubehu mbrantie te se yen a ye ti ye kan nyoma ha oman wi ani de esese ekono na the only show na started sadie we and mimi hu sadie we wo me started follow Captain Smart e wadum FM throughout that period abepi sabre we and no and a kire baby e there is a mental revolution, there is political revolution, any other revolutions I will become wasem na emebunu no ebraso ese sorry what share in some year Kansas year from time the fight, the battle has always been the fight of the battle of the mind. If somebody wants to conquer you, he conquers your mind, and once he wins your mind, you are going nowhere. Where you? And that is it. It is a billion van as semi security I can want some. It's a battle against the youth. I didn't make answer. Didn't I make answer and say police in Kokora and your police for a soldier for young Kokorafo, a young man in Katesia and a year provide security. And Tisobia Najuni said, no, my bebo police in whom by the bebo soldier in whom by main farm man to acquire you be woodia. Now it's a fight against the youth. Yeah, yes, it's a fight against the youth. And that is what we need to be talking about here. Because me not sure sempen you phone ni say will be quite juma. Your training will be there are a couple of things we can talk about here. What your training will be. Next one man the person will be as useless as one training okra. What training ni pano no one man akandia. What to mean juma no. Eti akandia na wo de mani pano dia juma no juma ni now so one farm mana. Now what exactly? enti dampare ni so police impanifo betumi aka kire say omo nnim say a friend is a sanyoma we ehu hia. Looking at there was a time General Nunu Mensah was interviewed about some of these things, and I said there is nothing a postal security threat in a nation as since said the people around you know a common one. Enti unim se situation wo Ghana sisia no a common di obia peko befa so edididie na che se obia ye move sika from one point to another no e denyada some of these things will crop up. Enti hihye be no mo ye dan pare me ye sure say me nim say the doctor no say your friends or honorary doctor or doctor without and I say a PhD I don't know say a PhD I mean nim say why research in research no efa security issues so leadership is to serve. Leadership is service. Leadership is service. Ye mawakwanya enye se wutene anase wudi muchi obi ne mawakwanya so obeso nipa. This life here ye woyi there is nothing ye pray. The only thing you live around is a day now. Nipa ben na wosomo. So our leaders, are they doing that? It is an attack on the youth. So we say because Captain we say security has moved beyond just young you. Security now, technology has come to give us that the security we need. Yeah, why? There are so much security around here because technology is in place. It is for no reason God has blessed the world with this technology. Again, African leaders, so these are some of the things. Since the person they can't Ghanaian youth, because of more so they no and fan of police no way and fan of me and Miniwa Yen Jumania and fan of or no Juma or Yen say. All cautious say yakot twaba ama will be no way winning no way yakwine asanso exercising the power. And that is why a brave do say constitution now about the leaders by against the youth yes it's a constitution because we are you obekoswati in the office akoswe yakakabensam your friend honorables on when we are supposed to be addressing them dishonorable and horribles. And that is what you should be talking about here. Because your frau, your point so, Amma will come all the comforts in this country to protect the people, but you use that same power to kill the very people you should be protecting. You are horrible. You are not supposed to be honorable. And this is what it's horrible. You are not supposed to be. You are not honorable. We should be properly addressing them. We should properly address them as horribles. They are not honorables. This is what you should be doing. That's the meaning I can't say. And yet the fight is a fight against the youth. Okay, so Ghanaian they are horrible now. They are social. They are honorable now. They are social. Yeah. Defense minister. Why horrible? Interior. Why horrible? President. Why horrible? Vice president. Why horrible? And the men can be. They are horrible because Captain here. Ope Juma or baby. Okay, we are Juma or baby. Now, person who is Juma waya. Ukwa, Shenipa, Wosumo, Shawambrabo. Therefore, judge. Don't allow anybody to say, why you on. Just look at Nipa Wosumo, Shawambrabo. So, when you jaw with you now, feast me feeding me year. Look at them. Want to mean catch a simple thing and me lecturer be extra me say. So, what call be feeling now person who said any penalty, how teacher or share them more around. When share no more and more around, mention the papa share no more around. What's the who be fear now per said your what you say what treating the pa share more or share the pay share more and more with you for 170. But one so yasene Emma, you're there more common no buy. Imana Kyei no 1 year. Yemfan kraton na fei yemrana yemetwa so entemtem.
Onia kata impese mu. Nyumeko maso yasin. Eye enapa macro. So ye napa. No ye soko. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil. Heaven dear. Bako pe. Adama West Africa Limited.
See, I think what Kratan said. So, Ghana Revenue Authority. My transfer nipa mako 908. Wombe kwa dabe. Must with immediate effects. 3 weeks ago, more that to old position. No. Yeah. And our transfers, don't say it's on hold. Me will list me now how maybe any panel, maybe a Sunday the list is on this mahi. 908 one time quick bam. Yes, we will transfer. One more quarter bay. Yeah, Kotoa Bampa. Kunumu bed. Ni Arsenal.
Captain. Two issues. Asin North providing further and better particulars and evidence for two issues. Either said the voter in Ghana is ignorant, and now said the voter in Ghana is a hypocrite. These are two things. I've seen what happened in Kumewu, because Captain Nami was Kumewu. I was on the ground in Kumewu from 26th April till after the elections. What I saw in Kumewu was that, Captain, they've seen all the things that happen in Kumewu. Say, mo streets, muni votes. All the social amenities that normal human beings would have to have are not present in Kumewu. Now, so because of the few CD notes, and some of the vote buying things we saw on TV, because of that, they voted in a certain way. I'm saying what's going to happen at St. North, it will prove two things. Either the Ghanaian voter is ignorant or he's a hypocrite. Now, Captain, you call parliamentary elections. No problem, there's a by-election for parliamentary seat. 2020 elections, before 2020 elections, anytime you're voting, we have a majority or a minority in parliament. Until you find out, sir, anytime it should be back up parliament and people have to take a vote, they will blame it on the majority. Say, oh, a majority for no and I'm voting. So we have a certain saying, almost say, minority will have its say, but majority will have its way. That's what we've been seeing for a very long time in our democracy. But in 2020, there was a new precedent. So we had a hung parliament. In that situation, minority has its say and majority has its way. Now it was equal numbers in parliament. What have they been able to do, the so-called minority, what have they been able to do with their numbers in parliament? That number or the numerical advantage, what have they done with it? Anytime any serious issue before parliament and it has to be voted on, it's two things that happen. Either there will be a boycott, and they'll walk out of the parliament house and then they leave it for the majority to have their way. Captain, that's what we've seen so far. And it beats my mind, sir. Voters seem not to see these things happening. On my friend say it is the norm, it's normal practice. But if, let me mention names here. Captain, if NDC was going to be a credible alternative, and I said there were a minority that was fighting for the people, anytime any issues came to parliament that had to be decided on the floor through a vote, with their numerical advantage, they could vote no, not to boycott. But instead of voting against whatever bill has been proposed on the floor of the parliament,
they would just
walk out. Now, Martin Luther King can say, and I'll paraphrase, or say Obi is Obi, na say na one country, you've taken the side of the OCC.
That's right.
And see, in the face of injustice, if you remain indifferent, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. And see, at the parliament, you guys have equal numbers in parliament to kick against anything that has been brought to the floor of parliament. They do not use their numerical advantage for anything. The worst case scenario, they say they'll walk out, boycott the vote, and leave the majority to do what they want to do. This is what the NDC has done with their numerical advantage as a hung parliament in the first time in the political history of Ghana. And see that. And so, like I said previously, you almost say, minority has its say, majority has its way. But since 2020, Captain, we've had a hung parliament. What has the equal number been able to do to the benefit of the Ghanaian people in parliament?
Nothing. Nothing.
And see, it's hypocritical, or it's hypocrisy in the highest order, for particularly the NDC to walk around parading themselves as the alternative to the MPP government. I can't say several times, sir. Since the beginning of the so-called Fourth Republic, they're friend of the False Republic, there has never been a time, sir, any of these two political parties have gone into opposition. Never. Government is in three arms. And so you have the executive, you have the legislature, and the judiciary. This is government. The only thing that changes at any point in time is the executive arm of government. And so president per NISSA. But the composition of parliament has always been such that MPP and NDC have always been in parliament. So how do they go into opposition? And see, Captain, I'm boy and Chaskele is musical chairs. So when they hear big and then they turn it around and say, oh, these guys are bad, these guys are bad. But Captain, on my final point before I leave this, look at this. 2017, after the elections, 2016 elections, MPP won the presidential elections. Omuyi finance minister, Kenoforiata, as the candidate for the finance ministry. People were aware, parliamentarians in parliament were aware, because you cannot tell me, say, Omu due diligence, and now background checks on the candidate. So they were very much aware, said this finance minister, or this candidate for the finance ministry, has shares in data bank, and the other things that were involved in that problem. But now, so as they brought him to parliament, they all gave him a unanimous confirmation, approval, say, Ombidi finance minister. No problem. From 2017 to 2020, Captain, you and I were in this country. We had all the scandals pertaining to the finance ministry. But after 2020 elections, no, Sani Pakwana called back to parliament as an appointee for a renewal of his mandate as finance minister. Where were the NDC MPs at that time?
They also again approved.
But when now we passing, say yes, unanimous approval. We should make him the finance minister to continue. So how is it that the same individuals are going around the country and parading themselves as if that they've not even seen any of these things and they're not part of the rot? Then again, it comes back to my initial statement. Say, this elections in Asin North will prove two things: either the Ghanaian voter is ignorant, or they are hypocritical.
All right.
Thank you.
No invitation, dear member, invitation to committee meeting. On behalf of the chairman, Professor Frimpong Boateng, you are invited to the Vaccine Manufacturing and Production Committee meeting. Venue, conference room, first floor, COVID-19 building, Jubilee House, 0.6, Kanda. I don't know what I was saying.
Minim say your COVID-19 building. Minim.
Sure. Vaccine Manufacturing and Production Committee meeting.
Oh, wow.
Conference room, first floor, COVID-19 building, Jubilee House, 0.6.
Textbooks for you to me printing now go manufacture vaccines. They're a joke.
What's it?
Me say textbooks for to me printing now go manufacture vaccines.
Now I don't know where for the committee where you're in 2021.
They're a joke.
Meeting here net 10 a.m. My boss say.
Oh, Captain, we can go down.
I said not. Any baby Jessica will talk with him. I'm a darn talker. But what am I going to say? I'm in fact, JB. JB, what's in Gamache? Hello, JB.
General Captain Smart.
Mo, Kumasi Captain Smart. Bibi Aboko.
General General Naba Josue.
Boy, the other room, I want Hong Kong, where you trust me and go.
Everybody, I say, Captain Mammy Mobia, actually, Mobia, Fapa, Asin North. Minoka said, Asin Briku. Now, visited about 3 polling centers and 3 different towns within Asin North constituency. Yako Asin Asempaneye and Yako Dain Asin system Asin Briku. Asin Briku is the heart and the center of the election by election. Minoka say, and I don't pay you bedroom polling center Hanumusa Methodist DC Primary School. Ebedu anu say na pressure wo ha papa 4 a.m. na ekofo asala to santene a omo trace electoral commission ebeba best ten kunya ene ne table na chese omo de abato da hye so anesa e bo modern ni binu mudi nkomo omo say abato no enye fa diagro even though a by election, but interestingly ehono na nkofo wo diverse opinion but enam say enne na ya abato ntine person obi abeka and your trauma in the onto manon and for Nenko as a full probia farm back. That was around 4 a.m. You do have no so around 4 a.m. now, you know, moody did in common. Any who say police before Bambo for Ababi drew on no more. They say, or provide the adequate security. And Chebia, we mutiti ya and who say, yes, electoral commission for to tell about money man. Exactly 7 pepper and omode abatono SSSO. But before the commencement of abatono, we saw some situation be an foodie war at Breku Honomono. One, some NDT supporters accused the NPP supporters is more chetika. In fact, if you do war, Methodist DC a Chihonomo peg na a honomo and a did start to say NDC for NPP for Sika, Mudabe hospital and a multi-pedia man call for. Now, for say, oh, Munko Jiska na Munina Muntunti or more than as so koba say mpayifo no mo allegedly omo chesika ni na edwane free ho no mo yehu obi a na o chesika because yehu say na nkofo ho no all right there one obi a ne interact lady ne catch there say ono omo friend so na medisika na na de ni so no so edwane ko e mankofo ni dwane ko e mo no so le san kan sika ti ne bufu pa John do so kwa akoda ba no kro nyanto enu achi na yehu say abrante ba ku bia allegedly oye NDC ni ono so kokeka sansem ni bia na okoto MPP pom na boy no ene omubo ne pa omudo mo sakeka ni ye pa ebi tutu omo na wo no ne subode oje kam oja sumbo correct pa ena ono so ede ne de kokopem ye wie ne ye to aso se ye ko other polling centers e wo de na ye dru ho no mo so na that place was very 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 peaceful the running mate of the National Democratic Congress, that is Yemame Professor Jane Opoku Nanajiman. Yekushia no honma ene ne di nkomo o chese abato no pressure bia nim nti omo aba di omo mra obi amra no meto naba saso ne yekushia yewra Ambrosberry no yes security for ehye omo di abase ba mo bia kutatu ewo police center hono no is the right call police for na eri omo adwumati yenya omo na omonye omo adwuma se na be ya asumdwe be ba nti ono de onum say police for and omo strategy even though oba hono mo sa center hono mo agabi ochidako polling station officer polling agent one of the centers asin den na se hono mo sa so ene ekoko hu the deputy education minister Reverend Intimfojo hono mo the chief scribe of the New Patriotic Party, that is Chapter Frempong Kudia, Esuto EBP mu hono mo a na efe ye pa the skin that the atmosphere na efe ye pa omumie no mu koshia Professor Dano Pokwadima no omumie no interacted in komo kama pa to say asundwe ewo muntem ye pa eno achi ne yesaso eba assembly ku hono wo ye ba ye na ye tete December ku mienu bi atisi a we cannot confirm it because speculations during elections there na edosu ye pa na atin breku Methodist JHSS chiri hono mo pe na ye huru say MPP gurus ne NDC gurus o mu ina kokko pake mo kasa si hono mo a hono mo abode wa pa chese enya asem ketwa but so far so good there about when it started 7 am no ahokika ne wo tru ye pa ye de pa customer ahokika ne wo tru ye pa by elections no to remember to Santine be as at 1 am ne 3 am ne 4 am de not me say Santine no go for point so beto about ombeto abano na apart from ahokika na wo sro no utumi say obi asoto aba oye na dwuma yi se na be ya obebe kisho say pepepe ye eni asumdie ebetumi aba ewo aseno so far so good there boni bi enyansi ye the police have been very very professional omo very very professional ohun the police ni bi akutatru edigina any police center bia na emom omo ko patrols no omo mom e na omo do omo kire mo ka mudi omo nkoka obia omo kuto mutuo na omo kire mo ka mudi ndu be ka ne de obeka ho barwa me ka ne de ondo tene ba bi odwe ne ho enti eno ne the situation a e wa ha no mutisi a ema ye hunu say yes no na eja eni abafo kakra ye hwe se be se ya Mr. Oja ode be edebe che na bato na timi abaso asumdwe mu na nkofa asapofro bia emfa so generally ne ekoso ha no mu ne the situation is good very intense just to say pressure and tension e wo assembly ku hono mo baby a jachi question the hono mu no free and na chatopoku so hono mu no free. Now, interestingly, the 2020 elections, no, Jachi Kwese hono winning ya or the winning abatoni na. Hono also so and no polling agents for endorse ye pa, voters endorse ye pa. Into automatically, we will be winning our assembly con automatically. What me winning the elections in Akasa. In so far, a hono more and attention, a hono more and a pressure we ye pass to see no kase. But for now, the day. Asemboni bi agency e wo ha no mistake. All right.
Abrante na wo kasa be bia na wo chesika na wo bo no na so wo party be. Jebi wotemenka.
Jebi abaje be.
Ya na me bu sase wo kasa Abrante bi wo mo vim na fine. Wo so wo party be.
Ya mo bo no na na.
Ane.
Oh, the one the NDC ni okoto MPP for mu na ni ti anye yi. In fact, MPP ni okoto NDC ni. Yes, now no mika odi dwane ye kura no nyame nkwa na nim se wa so refi won man na.
Say MPP ni okoto NDC for mu na NDC ni okoto MPP for.
MPP ni okoto NDC for mu because na NDC for na eye dede. Say MPP for ni chiska. Inti MPP for no dodo na edwane fritatin hot no. And ono kwa akoye na no ase gangan sem ne na no ni ade aha no de ase oye be ma che nkofo bia and ono ye de sakeka no ho no ma na nya sketwa.
All right, David Mame now I say
that's it, General.
David, if you are saying not in the buy as part of the regular exercise in ensuring that authority optimizes its allocation of staff by placing staff with certain experiences at the right places, as well as correcting distortions in the establishment levels within the offices, the Commissioner General has authorized staff postings as per the attached list. The postings take effect on 1st June 2023. All officers affected are to take note, hand over their schedules to their respective heads, and comply accordingly. By a copy of this circular, the department/unit heads and sector commanders are to notify the Human Resource Department on their assumption of duty. Thank you, Ekuya Mpieni Brobe, Acting Head of Human Resource, GRA. Inipado wunyina 906. Yes, I transfer 1 day. Ba kokura say onko. Ubi aso nkoye. On the 29th of May. Basi ene. So be anko 1st June. Postings take effect on 1st June 2023. But be anko 1st June 2023. 1st June 2023. Sankro fori na obi ase yanko wana mi roli wo msa nempa mako 906. Ubi ase onko. Penny for soon to me. Ima as a nurse.
Yeah, Captain. But say say as not asem way yakaka and say your boss Kofi Krantin a independent candidate. Bibi or canon or say we cannot continue doing the same thing and expect different results. Captain, I boss several times. Yen to me koso nya de krona na yen kopre insunsanso foforo. Nti dia wo beye no eno sunsanso na wo benya. Ye chiche sika e wo man mu e di print crofo vote and yen ne na starting. Ya yen penny for you back aka we ya na we akeka NDC for gina ha na ye dede say MPP for ye NDC for na we akeka we omo de da ya dwen da yen kakra nkra se ye ba gi atum say gradually na abaye normal because ye kasa asem we omampeni akoho akohu de ekoso wo ho sanso na friend say NDC flag bearer ye president former president Mahama so akoho won so ehu de wo ho mpanimfo a wo Ghana ha omo ka de ewo mu nyina ewo ho omo ehu nyoma ekoso obi afi efri say the interest is not Ghana but how obe win election enti de okwa obe fa so win election wo dwene ho say Ghana fo nyina ye be wu mpo na say omo win elections are they are okay nti obe ye bibia wo ho nke no an say na amen say ye beda ye be soro ne ye kwan ekwan wu nam so utumi hu fom ya ye kwan after a week ekwan na tutu and so still yakoto aba e de me because ya giska a san say ya no aduane achicha ma obi yakoto bibi e de akoche obi entini wurafi Ghana for ye come what ya see most especially Ghanaian youth say ye ma usika waje ato aba no ma wurafi say wonim ba bia sika no okofa no enti de meme kana me breaking no e wo no ma miensa wo to wo gi sika firi obi ho ene ato abama no so wo medi wo so no nyoma we a ekoni de di kan ne say sa sika na wo je no wo de to conscience sabi obi a ma waduan say de aduane hye wanu mu no won kasa ansa no it what this says sika na ma wa waje no kwa de wa to conscience you cannot think for yourself any longer it bibia na say wo kotokoto no it woni nsamfo mpo a wontumi nti de enti a Ghanaian youth yentumi nkasa efiri say ye de ho abare akọ akọ from politicians and omo boa yen enu nti yentumi enkasa ewoka they say development yempuntu ye wo ye mantem na ye ton no suku a wo benya akọ suku papa wo benya akọ hospital papa wo benya a wo bekọ akọja yarehwe eni akwan papa wo benya edwuma wo benya na waton because nipa no ni ba bi onya sika ni free ye enti so okobo besiampo a woto aba no ma no wi a esese wo PSS sika no until se wo PSS sika no e de ama de okofa ni free ye no enya de ampunto bia wo benya wo mantem de toso miensa ne se wonya ntiase se sika na wo gia no encourage corruption because nipa na wo dis kan bra wo no wo presa obenya election ti no abra wo to abanama na wini no instead of so be dwene wo ne mpuntu wo no wo dwene next election enti sika bi ese ye de kwan ye de bi hospital ye de sisuku ye de ye nyuma bebre mebu no mama ye no onye obesave sika no wo de abeda down on the day of election. And the constitution of this country is so quiet about it because it was crafted by the politicians, the same politicians, at the Mayan. It's in the constitution because you believe that the basic responsibility of the constitution is to regulate the power between the governed and the governor. But see at constitute the state of the constitution, it only gives all the power to the governor, leaving the governed. And you say, the only time o mo kire yen say ye wo ye hu hia no e ya bra ye beto abatisa ase not de no ma be gu ho obi hu mampanida enti truly some o man we mu edonye se de tie na o mo pese o mo ye bibi di boya adenti na ene adenti na o mo nya ne dadaada enti sa bre na kom de ye na o ba na ye wu ya nke be da to aba na ma won ehu ni mfaso enti Ghana mabunu e yen dada e na sa policy two political party we NDC MPP for 32 years John betumi aye ni dia moma yan fa yan ho adwe se be di kan say eye yo ma swan akon wo mabunu no so ente mabunu let us get up, let us think faster, let us look at what we can do. The next American can say there is mental revolution captain any omo aka omo dwene omo we ne kan ko ho akun say there is a mental man ye dwuma hodo edi aboye ma ya dwene ene ye ni abaye ho so ti you ta wo out a wo tie yen se wani nyamba wo so a ebrema wani mbra wo so se wo koyi na wo te yen kan se wani aba wo so na wo sa ba na wo koto because wa jiska obi wa men koto dwene se abatuo ya toma impuntuo enti wo to ababa ko mienu miensa na se impuntuo ohwe no nya ese se wo ko back na wo ko dwene now mobilizing who ye and son was and that is how we come to build the country. And to get a bread do so you're building this country. And to let us look out and New Vision movement a lot of policies about this. Let us look out for these policies. Me share your contribution now. You bet to me you work with Kranti a dear kind, I bet me a say. No my bet to me dear go council bet to me about we are ton kind and no the engine and you'll be about 12 V8 I can see in Ghana today. Leadership is about V8 in TMO post in the origin is our car. No what to that is not service Ghana and penny for God's sake. Service leadership is about service to your people.
Thank you. Pacho tanker drivers the still Omo say kwan phone omo nam so. Road minister say yen double up. Why kwan ni na wi? Wo omo de gas bre yen no. Omo say still ano. Omo striking the say the gina and gina. The next 48 hours. So more and resume here. And omo call it off strike na. Wan sha crofo be san line. E be ma gas a short. E san trouble. Beba. Kwan pe no mo say aban yenye so mo pehwe o mo say kwan no aban ma kwan ye more trouble anye sade a e be ya asem innocent as no
yeah captain the kan ma mensan che be menche watiefo
recently I by election Okumawu. And I needed another by election or Asenov. So the good questioner, you may be saying, Hone say, Oko Sala. Your friend is saying Santro Fie, your friend say Aquafu, Lolobi, and one other Lipe. That's 4 way, you know. From 2020 till date, Omuni representative. Omuya Ghana for, Omunya Togo for, and Omun free Cambodia.
Oh.
Yenina aware. When the issue went to court, institutions of state who are supposed to ensure, say, the foundations of the very democracy of this particular country will be secure, no, and insecure, you know, to ensure, say, at least everybody in Ghana be a Benya representative because one of the tools are Ebuama development eba. Speaker of Parliament, issue na court, the executive itself to Electoral Commission to this particular issue, any issue of concern to anybody. The people have been complaining, but complaining because saying those people they are cutting or more off as he said they are not part of Ghana. And the conversation has shifted. So all the time now, Obiawu ewo kumawu na you move the machinery of state yakwa elections and then your friends say ascend of yakwa by election. So the good question that will be or interested should be asking is Sam Crawford no more hono ade omo nya Ghana for omo deserve representation our parliament na parliament as a body no kra no hwan ns omo from bi so omo as to why be sin ne parliament ain't mean for the electoral commissioner emfa no because they have power to question almost everybody in this country. So say omo or doubt in such way na adentina speaker and parliamentarians ni ain't mean call na yam probu that particular matter. Na ye hu se sa ankrofo no at least almost deserve representation na ba sa adwen no ye nya huhu nyansa e na ye gya no ho e na ye move to another level. You see, by election eba say ya bring it to bear how ye nyina ye pounds like pawns on the chess game of stakeholders of political power in this country. They see us as commodities. Means I won't be used to capture political power. And a black man, the enemy power, say, "Yen capture political power." We can kill for power because of Adria Yade Bua minor, a bini hontino. You better when we are saying you now swag political power, and you political power now. You could bro, because we are using the same power as a tool, as a political instrument. You better rise and kasa you for you making them poor and put them in servitude forever. That's the mentality about power, the concept of power in this country. Your politics. And you know, don't be surprised over who the entire machinery of state you're shipping to ascend off. And then because it is about political power. We are going to kill for it, and it doesn't. The best CBA nipa da sani sabe power no, and I will be home. So see, I'm not kase okwa ascend off for quite some time. You overnight development. Na ye ka ho asem said anajo e kwan na ho woni beti ne yaguso that overnight development na e koso no chese na wo bisa ho say enti yete kromai ye beti ye woda capacity ye beti mi aboa aye development in areas like this na ye nya ya dwen say ye betwen ama by elections aba and sabiko ye hu bi ewo kumawu overnight you development and yes bitumen egu kwan so abra kwan kwa yentwa so just to fool the people because the politician knows say nipa no moto ni nim nyansanti no yes anema we ya ombeto aba mai and lo and behold the people fell for those things. Sure. They voted yet to aba ni we ya yes anema na the call ascend off say see am no say adia be the order of the day chroma in terms of development say you provide the AstroTurf. Just I said, damn the winning team this age and time. You will because AstroTurf even the European world because you pack no chemicals certain research about say in so good it can lead to cancer and
that's right.
So elsewhere people are moving away from AstroTurf. But on my comedy nipa football team can be the and we are building AstroTurf around the country. Sir, former minister, your kasa ho ho ho.
MPP for platform so. Almost one discuss achievement by way by a wire pa. Almost say school now woman kasim school kasim no. Omo abana ye AstroTurf for her. Na AstroTurf no so watum school from Kola into Kosubi.
Captain, AstroTurf na by the order of the day. and I make as a former minister
who need your full Fred Jumako bar.
Don't say Jumako by one sabon.
Innocent, to touch on the AstroTurf, yes. So share all the AstroTurf you see with Ghana. None of
any changing room, no washroom.
And fifty standard cry. And fifty standard captain. So that particular thing, and I'm saying, side partner, minim nipa okofa sa contract na ye dia ma no. All ye okrom ha. Even because answer be see those things, no even for football course course academy need those things in the course system now build no one who said there is a team in place. You develop football, party near plan near and a but none of such things and no one said yes see AstroTurf no go ho nipa mu mrante gu krosu nya adwuma ye amanfo sika kam bank o man no say boase ye na ye gina IMF anima ye pa mo cheso mo mai sika and then you sika overnight and then ye AstroTurf knowing very well that particular thing even how to sustain it cry no a problem and then you go ho and because of politics we are throwing all these things around all over the country makacho say sa former minister no kasa ho ne penso no ya ba okoto yesika gu Egypt no ne penso AstroTurf for yesisi e de yesisi kruma okọ achemota overhead na say gatan China yesi BDC ubobo ho yeye and it's all over the country but on my sika and ye di this ansem hunu we nyina so sa overnight development na all of a sudden ya shepo de akwa asen all because of elections no. The good question I'm asking is enti ya wada capacity ya wa hoden say betimi aboa the development akoba bi akreti niema manfo anya biaye but why must we wait till say elections beba e chiro wa kope. We are only interested in the concept of power. I will kroma. And again, me can about the elections. Sa akwafo no we call quarter. Ye dilly dally for almost 3 to 4 years in me komi. Be seen there, those people no omunya representation in parliament. This issue court nanka ye expect say court na ye one of the key foundations of your democracy need to take key interest. They making sure say or meeting partner with other institutions to resolve no that particular issue na kwa kwesi. As enough elections here ye kwe say na no na make catch about ruling never about say yes papa no every day bia no obeko court so kai. Fortunately court na we are saving her from public ridicule and shame because now a lot of people were concerned say na even omo kunipa okrom ha kwa sesi dadom yo se hwan yo omo kunipa okrom ha even omo asem kwa no di sasem every day but they bought into those particular thing and mahu say ye free but the question I'm asking is president ko ha oye campaign no o se manipa omo asen of to aba ma obi a all ko prison and that particular statement very deep
as a president in the court now
very deep. Asem no kind maybe a man for again so ma asem for to abama obi a all prison. You see yet kroma the last time I make catch roll judiciary no for quite some time now public confidence and trust in the institution no any hobiem and people even asem of MP cry there are those who believe say he's just a victim of a procured judicial fraud system no and the whole and you can't change that perception among for so it's a president coho in a campaign platform now kakasa monko twaba ma obi a all prisoner then what it means is that concerns na man for was the judiciary is being subjected to some maneuverings from the executive then you are only confirming it because as a president you are not a court. Any politician like some of these NDC MPP they can use that to do their politics, we understand that, but for the president, the first gentleman of the land to make such comments I think that is a bold statement. Because it is only confirming the fact that indeed judicial admission the bottom and he can manipulate and subject them to whatever will be open and until some key issues but you don't drive yourself to that arena. You see, Captain, and na issue ya can issue topical issue na make about other issues ye live no bear abrante ya okọ di billion van ya chi a ye bo ni to ku na be si no bia nkan ho asemi obi a o serve the man ya wato as a president ya wo ye bia se ujai na at least so won't even visit family no cry at least hold the state ya wo so we release statement consoling the family ma busiafo no say ye de se ya wato yi even though one fa kwan personal to ye there na for a whole president to make a point say all can asem no asem ya kuma beto yeyam the president was over, his vice was over a campaign for political power. But nipa na watono, nobody is interested. And America nyina achiro say to me na ye prepare no ha no ye mprempe to me say ye de beserve nipa o. Ye prepare to me say ye de ba be ye ho ye. And na consistently poverty ye ne deliberate tool e wo ha, especially in Africa, just to ensure say we keep the people in servitude forever. And once you are in servitude, what it doesn't matter. Because kroma ye we and people think they win answer. The very moment you become rich, it doesn't matter how you got those wealth, you know. The very moment you become rich, you know, you are considered as a winning answer. So the whole thing now by a contest for wealth. Politics is now by a contest for wealth. Everybody. That is what we are doing. But the basic thing I had to me here said to come and serve women, creating capacity, helping people, say building individual capacities, building the enabling economic platform, making sure that a man for being future, no, that future, no, you're taking it away, and people who are going away are rather using the few resources available, no, taking care of themselves. And that is the kind of governance I hear. Then we turn out to blame other people. For quite recent days, one of the president addresser, now he was attacking rating agencies for being responsible for why Ghana is in this mess. Which person on his right senses? Never to me what has ensued in this country for the last 6 years. So we will be blamuna. Rating agencies. Rating a whole scorecard and a demo. It's just like say what exams the teacher the market. You can't blame the teacher because of the marking scheme. I don't know what the mouth. So in the last 6 years, if you look at the kind of irresponsible lifestyle, some of the your friends say unpopular decisions I am making. Nema yeni yesika sema faso. It's on record say yesika sema to form. And these are rating agencies. Akufo-Addo as a person cannot. Your friends say take them to the cleaner. Say omo credible because all over the world. My culture say in the your friends global financial space, you know. These guys are there. They've been there for long, for years. Unim say omo sema omo kan. Among other countries, I consider so be quiet investment, stock market, bond, your first market, and as a phone in and you almost statistics in as a for amount for the beba and amount for recognizing, use it as a basis to make informed decision so far as investment is concerned all over the world. So you cannot sit here. What you have to do is say near ma I am more minor bedroom, you know. That is what you need to do and accept responsibility. But what about minor we see a kokana na and Russia Ukraine war. Your friends saying COVID-19 and your COVID-19 and your rating agencies and are reckless. But you forget to say if you foolishly run down your country, some rating agencies will also recklessly rate you down. It's as simple as that.
Mamina say, I say not so much about social soldier on soldier. I post focus to the music video in Pacho Modi and I so besa kwa man so na yenson junior or honest me boy abantiano no why we soldier tadia kufu. Omo na sheka no ma rolling glasses ni na akoso ma hwe ni mbie ha ofiri hin no koye den wo ho ye reporters no do so na wo ho ye wo ye bo ndin ni wo ye bo ndin reporter ye bo ndin ma chi hello baba boyen komo ayeden ye chi soja ni onye soja ni
Yo, mini abema me da wase. Mini ukase mijina breku baby ayeto aba no ewo asen North constituency. Na abrante ya yeche ne titia yi. Ya hona yenya ne ntia na say ye hu say police for rush abrante bi. Ye die mika ye kohwe ya. Oshe soldiers water ye camouflage TV. Na police for esusu say na say ye hu say camouflage national or she party color bi or she party bi color atare na sekan ni enyoma ehhehye no ho nti eno na ema a police for eso ni mu a omode no ko bebia ye nim sisi a
patron party ben atade na hyase
party colors are yehu NPP for party colors and yehu say ose ewo camouflage na se
na second oye kotokro do anada second ben
we pato brabium na
second ben na hye ne ho What's na sekan bi hye no we sekan ben a?
Sekan won say a soldiers for sekan yi bi and I hye no.
Okay. All right. Now watch no one carry. All right. Yeah, that's it. Nti ye twa ye ho aba na ya na afia beto aso. Ye be san ba biom. Abebo ase north come on. We'll be right back.
GH boy, I like what you're doing.
Ha! Edian, Shigayes and the Clacks, Sinibia, and for our reform you know home. Bako Asha Muniama, Atato Muniama Yankasa, Bibiano, and Rada home.
Eradin Yankopon, yet dawas no inshira.
And consider that Ben Mammy Pressy. Dabe,
Mawa brain. Ayen.
Debbie, and yen Naka, I must say, yes, I was saying,
Naso Busafo for Nakan so. Omodi, everything they go.
Kotokofo Lucy.
What fire flew? Hey, boo, Mammy Abba, Kyei, Mammy.
Na Clacks, Amashigayes, Aquaba, Mufi.
Larry.